This video is going to show you how to create the first table in the Module 1 Access Lab Assignment Customer Database. The first thing we're going to do is open up Access. You want to create a file name, decide where you want to save it onto your computer, press Create. Access defaults to your first table, and this is where we're going to change the table name by going up to the little Save tab, little tab icon, and it gives you the opportunity to change the table's name. The first table we are creating is customer information. Okay. As you can see, it went from table 1 to customer information. Now we can go and add our fields to this table. The first field defaults to ID with an auto number data type. This means that for every record you entered, it's going to start with 1, next record will be 2, 3, and so on. We want to change the name by right-clicking, renaming field to customer ID. The second field we want to add is name, but you want more than one field, so let's first add first name, and then we can add last name. The next field we want to add is address, and it also wants more than one field, so let's start by the address, and I use the text data type because we're going to be adding more than just the house number. You're going to have the street number or the street name, so we wanted it's not just a number data type. Next, we could, oh, not a city, we want city field, state, and then zip code we could add. And zip is a number, so you can use the number data type. The next requirement in this specific table is adding a telephone number, and it wants you to add the parentheses and dashes, so it's not just going to be a number. You're going to want to keep it as a text data type because of these, the parentheses and the dashes added. Finally, our last field that this table wants us to add is an email, but it wants the data type set to a hyperlink. So we're going to choose that and name it. After creating all of these fields, we can go up here and press Save. And now it lets us put in our records. But before we do that, let's go into Design View, which gives us an overall of all the fields we just added, their field names, and their data types. We can kind of make any corrections we need to here. Customer ID, you can see it's set as a primary key, which is fine. I like to put in here, and the description is primary key, that way we all know. Just helps us as we start building the other tables too. And then this is where we're going to format the telephone field. In our assignment, it asks for us to include area code format to include the parentheses and dashes. So instead of having to type that in every time you create a new record, we're going to go down here to Input Mask Wizard. Yes, you want to save the table first, which helps us with that little warning. And the first thing that pops up is phone number. And that's what we want. This is what we want the data to look like when it's entered into the database. And you can just press Finish, and you can see that it was included. So we're going to go up here and press Save now that we added that. And now we can go ahead and put in some of our data, some records. Go back into Data Sheet View. I'm going to tab over to First Name. And here you can see the customer ID. It defaulted to 1, and the next one will be 2. I'm going to go in, address, city, state, telephone number. As you can see, I just inputted the numbers and it automatically included the parentheses and dash. That way it keeps the data consistent throughout the table. Email address. And I entered after the input of the last field there. As you can see, it hyperlinked, so now if I wanted to email myself, I could just click on it and it would automatically open up my email agent. So I'm not going to add all of these. You can go ahead and add the 10 that are required in this assignment, but you're going to want to also make sure that each field is properly sized. So here, my name, my email address is cut off. So I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Let's see what else is cut off. Oh, address is cut off. So I'm going to make that a little bigger. And you may want to make state smaller, just so everything looks neat. You can put zip a little smaller. Address you may be able to make smaller or larger depending on the records that you're adding. So I'm not going to input all of these, I'm going to let you do that, but I am going to show you how to go get to your next table. You're going to create and go to the table, and it automatically brings up a brand new table, table 1. You can go up here, press save. You can name it what you need to name. Oops.